Hi guys, welcome again in another episode of Math Survival Kit. And again, thank you for my 1,150 subscribers as of today. So, welcome back. Okay, so this is now our episode 4 of Math Survival Kit. So, our previous episode we talked about the greatest common factors. So, for this episode, we're going to talk about the least common multiple. So the objective of this lesson is to find the least common multiple using a particular method. I'm going to introduce later a particular method on how to find the least common multiple of any pairs of numbers. And this is our Math Survival Kit episode 4. Okay, so let us first define what is the least common multiple. So least common multiple is simply the smallest positive number that is a multiple of two or more numbers, no? So we're just going to get there the smallest positive number that is a multiple of any pairs of numbers, two or more numbers. So let's have an overview of this lesson. So listing the multiples, let's say for example we are asked to find the multiples of 3 and 5. So again, we're just going to have a list first of the multiples of 3. So how do we get the multiples of 3? That is by multiplying 3 starting by 1, 2, 3, and so on consecutively. And then we get its product, and that will be the multiples of 3. So that is 3 times 1, which is 3. 3 times 2, which is 6. 3 times 3, which is 9. 3 times 4, which is 12. And 3 times 5, which is 15. And then up to 6. 3 times 6 is 18. And so on. No? We're just going to have a list. So the multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and so on until it reaches the, the infinity. And then we have the multiples of 5. So just going to multiply 5 by 1, 2, 3, and so on. So 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 5 is 25, and so on. 5 times 6 is 30, and so on. So what we're going to do if we encounter commonalities on the multiples of the two numbers, which is the least of all the multiples, we get that. We get it. So that will serve as our the least common multiple of 3 and 5. So in the multiples of 3 and 5, so we can see we have the common multiples. We have 15. So this is the list of all the multiples of 15, which is common from the two numbers, which is 3 and 5. So therefore, the least common multiple of 3 and 5 is 15. So let us talk about what is a multiple or the common multiple. The common multiples are those that are found in both lists. So let's say for example we have here the multiples of 4 and the multiples of 5. So we have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, and 44. And then we have the multiples of 5, which is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And then the common multiples are the common multiples of the two numbers we have here. As you can see, we have 20 and 40. So those are the common multiples. And what we're going to talk about in this video is the least common multiple. So, okay, so all we have to do is to get its least common multiple. So it is simply the smallest of the common multiples. So on our previous example, the common multiples are 20 and 40. So in our previous example, the smallest of the common multiples is 20. So the least common multiple of 4 and 5 is 20. So you just get the least common multiple of the two given or two or more given numbers. Okay, so I'm going to introduce you with the method that we're going to use in finding the least common multiple, which is the ladder method. So the next that you're going to see is the examples on how to find the least common multiple using the ladder method. Here it is. So for example number 1, what is the LCM of 8 and 12? So using the ladder method, we just have to put the two numbers in a ladder. So that is 8 and 12. Then we're going to divide the two numbers simultaneously by a common factor. So we can start by dividing it by 2. So we divide the two numbers by 2. So 8 divided by 2 is now 4. Then 12 divided by 2 is now 6. So we continue dividing the two numbers until as long as we have common factor. So we can still divide the two numbers by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is now 2. Then 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then if you can see that there's no more factor that can be divided by 2 aside from 1, you can now get all the numbers outside the ladder. And then we multiply all those numbers. Okay, let's write it here. So that is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. So we multiply it. 2 times 2 is 4. Then 2 times 3 is 6. And then we multiply again. 4 times 6. That is equal now to 24. So 24 here is our least common multiple of 8 and 12. Example number 2, what is the LCM of 18 and 16? So in the same manner, using the ladder method, we put them in the ladder. So we have 18 and 16. So let's start by dividing the two numbers by 2. So 18 divided by 2 is now 9. Then 16 divided by 2 is now 8. So as we can see, we don't have any more common factor for 9 and 8. So we get now, we stop dividing, and then we get all the numbers outside. So that is 2, 9, and 8. We multiply them. So we have here 2 times 9 times 8. So 2 times 9 is 18 times 8. 18 times 8 is equal to 144. So 144 is now the least common multiple of 18 and 16. And finally, for example number 3, we're given three numbers here. So what is the LCM, or the least common multiple of 4, 6, and 16? So the same manner, we're going to put the three numbers in a ladder. So we have 4, 6, and 16. So obviously, we can divide the three numbers by 2. So we divide them by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So unlike what we did in the greatest common factor, we have to divide the three numbers by the same factor. In finding the LCM using the ladder method, we can divide them at least as long as there are two numbers that can be divided by a common factor. So as we can see, 2 and 3 has no common factor aside from 1. The same with 3 and 8. But 2 and 8 can be divided by the common factor. So as long as we have at least two factors or two numbers that can be divided by from the given, we can continue the division. Okay, So in this time, we're just going to divide 2 and 8 by their common factor, which is 2. But we're not going to include 3 since 3 cannot be divided by 2. So again, in LCM, at least 2 numbers that can be divided by same factor, we can continue the continuous division. Okay, so we divide now 2 divided by 2, we have 1. And then since 3 cannot be divided by 2, you just copy 3. Then 8 divided by 2 is 4. So if we reach the numbers in which we cannot divide any more factor, you now get all the numbers outside the ladder and then multiply. So get all the numbers. So we have 2 times 2 times 1 times 3 times 4. So 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 3 is 3 times 4 is 12. Then 4 times 12 is equal to 48. So 48 is the least common multiple of 4, 6, and 16. And that's it. That's how we find the greatest common factor using the ladder method. Okay, that's it. So I think we are now ready to have a short exercise. So I have here, find the least common multiple of the following numbers. We have 12 and 15, 16 and 24, 8, 12, and 15. So I'll give you 2 minutes to find the least common multiple of the following given numbers. And your 2 minutes starts now. 5 seconds. Time is up. So let us now check your work. So we are asked to find the least common multiples of 12 and 15, 16 and 24, and then 8, 12, and 15. So let us now check. We have here for number 1, for 12 and 15, we have 60. Let's see. And then for 16 and 24, we have 48. And for 8, 12, and 15, we have 120. Okay, congratulations. See you again on my next video for our Math Survival Kit episode 5. Abangan nyo po yan. And this is Sir Phil, and this is Sir Phil's channel. Thank you for watching the Math Survival Kit episode 4.